Welcome to the David Bradley Show with your host, David Bradley.
What is going on, people? I'm counting this stuff down, and it's crazy. CMA Fest is on the way. As a podcast, I actually got press credentials. I will be at the CMA press room. I will be doing artists, having little 15, 30-minute interviews, however much time that they can allow me. But y'all get prepared because we're going to be doing some live stuff. We're going to be doing some recorded stuff. I might just turn the cameras on and let them run the whole daggum time. Who knows? But it's going to get wild. It's going to get insane. And we're going to have a lot of fun with this. So I hope everybody tunes in then. June 6th, 7th, 8th, and 9th. All day long, we're going to be plugging away at it. So, but now we're going to get to somebody that I've been trying to get on the show for a while now, and we finally got together on it. And I want everybody to please welcome Miss Audra McLaughlin. I think I said that right. Did I say it right?
Yeah, you said it right, McLaughlin. Yeah, that's perfectly fine. How y'all doing? How you doing?
I'm tired. I need a Manny, a Petty, and one of them little people that walk on your back and snap, crackle, pop, and
sounds like you need to go to a masseuse or something.
Yeah, it'd be nice. I mean, just chill out and relax for at least a day. Because, man, have you done CMA Fest before?
I have. I've done it many times in a row. I have other shows that are booked kind of out of town, in town, during that time. So I won't really be doing too much of CMA this year, but I have. Yeah, they're long days and it's hot, and but they're always a good time for sure.
Well, I mean, I ain't gonna lie, I'm nervous as all get out. Last year I did my little CMA Fest thing through up at Nashville Studios, and I had 14 guests. Now I'm in there with the big boys.
Yeah.
Because I got the credentials now. And they're doing 15-minute time slots, which I figured it out. Julie figured it out. The wonderful woman that keeps most of this show together and going. And she counted out and she said, David, if you do 15 minutes with each artist, that's 110 artists. And I'm like, holy crap.
That's a lot. Oh my gosh.
You know how many artists is going to be there this year?
Wow. Because of, a ton. Where will you be? Will you be in?
I'll be in the Music City Center, the convention center.
Gotcha. Cool.
In the press room up there. I was supposed to have my own little room and everything. So I don't know. It makes me a nervous wreck because you got 500 people you're emailing and everybody's trying to book this and that and everything else. And it's just amazing. They're saying this is going to be the biggest CMA Fest that they've had.
Makes sense. I mean, with social media and with a lot of, artists that have went viral and, there's so many opportunities for artists these days that, it's flooded with artists.
Well, I tell everybody, you don't need a record company anymore. You just need a team of social media nuts. And
you do.
Just get it together, man.
Absolutely. Yeah. Having a label deal these days is, not to say that it's bad, but it sometimes isn't good either. Cause, sometimes you get shelved and, you're not prioritized or, there's another bigger artist on that label that the money and the focus is going into. And, with all the resources that we have as artists these days with like TikTok and Instagram and Facebook and YouTube. And I mean, there's 1,000 ways you could just promote yourself. And like you said, you just get a couple people to help you with social media. And that's kind of the new way of doing it.
Yeah, I mean, that's how I built the show.
Right. Exactly.
Just kept plugging away at it, and sure. It's insane because I was I got to tell this story. I was talking to a buddy of mine, and he's like, well, with your show, you'll eventually reach beyond Nashville. And I just turned and looked at him and I said, dude, it's on the internet. I'm global.
Right? There you go. Exactly. And that's the thing that's cool is that everybody can kind of have the chance to take their their business, to a bigger level through social media, which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
And that's another friend of mine who does a show, like a sports cast. Like his whole
Yeah.
thing, same thing, Backstage Pass. I don't know if you're familiar with Brandon, but that's how his whole thing took off, was just by social media and getting, like, say, one credible guest on, and then it opened up doors for other credible guests and things like
Yeah.
that. And that was all through social media, and that's the blessing of it, as you stay consistent, and you stay authentic, and then people want to be a part of your show, which is
Oh,
really
yeah.
cool.
Yeah. And it's not that hard, really. I mean, I let my daughter do the TikTok thing for me
Sure.
because the stuff she does. I mean, she can take part of my episode and cut it down and do this and do that all on her phone. And I'm just like, it took them 10 years to get me to get rid of my flip phone.
I have an uncle that still has a flip phone, and I have some friends that are just old school, like country guys that just
Yeah.
they prefer to have, not have their iPhone with them at all times, because it takes them away from, like, what they have to do as artists and things like that. And I'm like, man,
You know what I think it is, though? I think it's because we're all older and we grew up with the, James Bond and all the whole spy stuff and all that other crap. So we look cool when we flip the phone open.
sure. Yeah. Very true. Then people are like, oh, wow. Like, I want to get that,
You never know, man. It gets crazy.
It is. It's freaking great, though. It's funny.
You never know around here. I mean, it's crazy. When did you actually start doing music? Because I was reading on your bio and stuff. You're actually from Glen Olden, Pennsylvania.
Yeah, I'm from Pennsylvania, like right outside of Philadelphia. I moved to Nashville a couple of years after The Voice. I was on
Yeah.
The Voice back in 2014. But yeah, Pennsylvania is my hometown, and I've been in Tennessee now for quite some time. But
Yeah.
music, wow, yeah.
I was rooting for you on The Voice, just to let you know.
Thank you so much. Oh my God, that means so much to me. I appreciate
Well, I
that.
mean, when it first came on, I was just in love with it because,
Yeah.
well, my history with, being in the music industry and stuff. And I was just like, I loved it because it was giving unknown people an opportunity and actual good people to back them and show them the ropes and put them through a competition to where you learn,
Right.
you learn a ton through going through that.
Absolutely.
And, I love that aspect of it.
Me too, for sure. I mean, and for me, I mean, I started doing music at such a young age.
Did you do it at church?
Huh?
Was it the church?
I started singing, yeah, at a lot of different churches, actually, because my vocal coach at the time, she would put me in, like, different recitals and things like that,
Yeah.
in and around town, in my hometown, to just kind of get me used to the stage, and to give me a little stage presence and get comfortable in front of people. And that was my early days, it was starting out. And I just, I love that stuff. And then also I would just kind of enter, like, some local, like, little singing competitions, like, in my
Right.
hometown, and just, just little things here and there, until started to join bands. Joined my first rock band when I was 13, 14, maybe. I was about 14. Yeah, I've
That's
been
about
through all the
the time
genres.
I was 16, 17 years old. I bought a drum kit. I thought I wanted to be a drummer.
We all have those, like,
And then I got rid of the drum kit because I'm not coordinated. Okay. And,
Me neither. Me neither.
and then I picked up the bass and messed around with it. And then I was just like, I tried to play one of the hardest songs ever, and that's Iron Maiden, Rise,
Oh, yeah.
Rise of the Ancient Mariner.
Sure.
That's just hard as I'll get out to play. And I put it down. And then that's when I was running around a bunch of guys that had, bands and stuff. And I got interested in that other side of it, the production side of it, the sound, the lights, and being able to create and paint pictures behind the band while they're playing.
Right. Absolutely.
And I just, but yeah, that's pretty cool because a lot of people that I talk to, they either started like in church, the choir, or they started in like high school musicals and stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. I did. I mean, I wasn't, I was always kind of ADHD growing up. So I was like always just kind of like, oh, I love base or, softball this one week. I love swimming this week. It was like I was always changing like my activities. And I mean, I knew singing was always the number one thing that I just absolutely loved. And that was just, but yeah, the other entities of like, all of that, it just took me a while to like sort of okay, like focus on music. But I never really got into, I mean, I did a couple different theater plays. Like I was in um Bye Bye Birdie and Wizard of Oz. I did small parts and stuff like in
Right.
like not in like high school, but like other programs and stuff like that
Mhm.
I tried to do like theater. And I just, man, I had a hard time just sticking with things because
Yeah.
my brain just found other activities that I liked, and it was just it was kind of funny. So I never really stuck with theater, but I did always sing in the choir and after school choir and stuff like that throughout
Yeah.
school. And that kind of helped with stage presence and stuff too. But I think my rock band when I was 14 was really what helped me really become an entertainer and get used to like how to entertain and how to have energy on stage. Because when you're singing rock stuff and you have to be a very very like energizer bunny kind of
Oh
on
yeah.
stage.
You got to
So
have stamina.
even now singing like country soul and all that kind of stuff, it's like I still find ways to still put that same kind of energy into my show each
Mhm.
time.
Yeah. They're, no,
Oh, hell. Well,
no, she logged out. She'll log right back in is what she's doing. She's refreshing it. This is why I tell people y'all need to be in the studio. But we totally understand. Sometimes it's hard to get to the studio. I do live 32 miles north of Nashville. Isn't that right, Caitlin?
36, right? Or is it 32?
I thought it was 32. Might be 36.
Maybe it's 36 from where I live.
I don't know.
But that wouldn't make sense because I'm more north of downtown.
Mm-hmm.
Do.
Well, see, I was off right there at, I grew up right there at Trinity Lane, Jones Avenue.
Oh, yeah, you lived on Jones too.
Yeah, I was up at the top of the hill. We just had all kinds of
Back
fun.
on. Oh, here she comes.
Here she comes.
What happened? That was crazy, but the sound just totally shut off and you were talking and I'm like, what's going on?
Yeah. Well, you clicked out on us earlier.
Did it?
Yeah, it just kind of like went away and then it come right back. And I was like,
Oh
okay.
goodness, I'm so sorry. I have no idea what the heck I never know how to use well, not to say that I don't know how to use it, but I'm so used to like Zoom and I was like, wait, I don't think I've used the StreamYard. I'm so sorry about that.
Oh no, you're fine. I like StreamYard better because we can add, put your names down there and
Sure, absolutely.
we can do the scroll thing with the like, share, follow, subscribe, and
Absolutely. Yeah, it seems to be a better way to promote like artists and stuff like that.
I like it.
Well, hopefully it didn't screw up the recording.
Oh, we talked right through it. It's okay.
Oh man, that's so funny. Well, I seen you talking and I was like, oh no, I can't hear any of like a word he's saying.
Yeah, that's why it's okay. Then I said she can't hear us. She'll reload it. It'll be all right.
There you go. Yes, it's all good. Sorry.
You're good, hon. But yeah, I totally forgot what I was talking about.
I know. I
What
think
was
I
I
was,
talking about, Caitlin?
How she got started in the church and musicals and stuff.
Oh
like that.
yeah, the musicals. Have you ever wanted to do like a big production play?
like now that I've kind of gotten older and things like that, like not old, but like just like finding new interests in things, like I would definitely be down to do, I don't know, a part in a play or something, in a musical. But, growing up, like I was in a couple different musicals. Like I was in Wizard of Oz, I was in Bye Bye Birdie, and I think I did like Les Miserables. And I kind of got out of theater a little bit. I just, like I said, I was an ADHD kid that had a different interest of a sport or an activity every other week, So it was like my
Yeah.
mom would sign me up for like piano lessons, and then, God bless their heart, they'd get me a key, like a little keyboard or something, and then I'd find a new interest like 2 weeks later. And the only thing she could ever keep me interested in was anything to do with music.
Yeah.
My brain just was like hyper focused on wanting to do music. I mean, even in school, I'd like be humming, and I mean, I loved choir, I loved chorus. I was always in,
Right.
music class and things like that. But when it
Yeah.
came to anything else, she couldn't get my attention.
Well, the thing about- when I was watching your music videos and stuff and listening to some of your music, I was just like, I analyze. I don't know why I do it. It's just one of those things. And I was just like, your voice, I could see you doing musicals. I could see you doing country. I could see you doing rock. I mean, yeah, all kinds of stuff. You've just got one of those voices that just could do any daggum thing you wanted to do with.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, and I think that's kind of been a little bit part of the, well, it's hard because when you can sing anything, it's hard for people to nail down an identity of like a genre per se,
Yeah.
because I always have been interested in all kinds of music, because I grew up, again, like I started off in a rock band, and then I went from being in a rock band to like being in a country band, and bringing back my old roots with soul and blues and R&B
Mhm.
and that kind of thing. And now, I'm kind of in that lane where I'm doing the country soul sort of R&B thing, because that's just where I've always wanted to be. But I love rock music too. It's like, it's hard to just, I mean, I put rock songs in my shows all the time. I love
Yeah.
to rock out and move around on stage and entertain,
Yeah. Well, I've always been a metalhead.
Yeah. See, there you go.
I'm sitting here in a Godsmack t-shirt. So, I mean,
I love it. I love it. Yeah. I mean, music is music. Great music is what
it
speaks to
is.
the soul.
And,
Yeah.
and the coolest thing to do back when I was like 16, 17 years old, pull your car up where your friends are and everything. You're,
Sure.
meeting them all and how's it going? And you're jamming to Tchaikovsky or Beethoven or something, and they're just like, what in the hell? What have you been drinking already? But it's just fun stuff, I mean, I appreciate all music.
Sure. Me as well. I love music.
I'm,
I'm always listening to different music all the time.
yeah,
I go from anywhere to like, rock and roll to soul to blues to hip hop to, whatever I'm in the mood that day. It's just
yeah,
it's all different.
yeah. It's just like, because so many people say, well, what's in your playlist, And I'm like, dude, I'm so erratic with what I listen to. I don't
Sure.
have a playlist.
Right.
I can't
Right.
do a playlist. I have to just whatever hits me at the time.
Absolutely. Yeah. And yeah, I know that's how I am too. It's like, and that's the other thing, is there's so much music coming out like every day that it's just very hard to
Mhm.
keep up with the amount of new music coming out. So I try
Yeah,
the best I can to check out, music, but I also kind of give some of the time to stick. And then I'm like, okay, well, this must be a good song or a good artist. I might need to check this
right.
out, instead of
Well,
wasting my time on all this music and stuff.
well, you write a lot of your own stuff too, don't
I
you?
do, yeah, absolutely.
So, I mean, I've been dying to ask this question. Um, if you're like jamming out to all this different music and everything else, and then you sat down to write or anything, do you find problems with one of those songs coming back in your head?
Like a cover, or you mean like?
Well, I mean,
I mean, I'm sorry. Like you mean when I'm writing, or?
yeah. Do you have trouble with, like you're writing a song out and you're like, wait a minute, I just listened to this while ago. The
Um.
Doobie Brothers or something, I mean,
Oh, like if I'm in the middle of like say writing a song and then I'm
yeah,
like, oh wow, this sounds like something else kind of thing.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah, there has been times where I've like landed on something that I thought was like, oh, this is so cool. I love this melody. And then somebody in the writing room goes, well, that sounds exactly like this or that. I'm like,
yeah,
oh, and now what I'll do is I'll just make sure like, okay, well, does it sound exactly like it, or is it just have, you know, touches and pieces of that other song? Because
right,
I mean, music is constantly being recreated, I mean, there's only a certain amount in a scale, right? So they say
oh, yeah,
like, you'll listen to a song, that has a similarity to another. And I mean, music is constantly just recreating itself. And you're gonna run into that sometimes where you'll hear something and you're like, I mean, there was a song I heard not too long ago that I was like, wow, that sounds exactly like Strawberry Wine,
yeah,
by Deanna Carter or something. It's just, and people like artists do not really, it's not like they do it on purpose. Sometimes they just don't even know, it's just
yeah.
like, oh, this sounds cool.
Well, I'm not mentioning names, but I heard a song and I was like, wait a minute, that sounds like, but then instead of the way they wrote it, it was a little bit faster time.
Sure.
The original that I remembered was in a slower time.
Yeah, so that will happen too a lot of times is like people will just like say like they're listening to like their inspirations in music and then
Yeah.
they'll say, well, we can take this and this piece from that and slow it down and change this here and change that there, and then it becomes their own song, and that's
Yeah.
done every day. I mean, that's done everywhere. You
Oh,
can
yeah.
listen to 5 songs in a row and you're like, okay, well, that's kind of crazy. This sounds like this song and that song and.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, even some big names, I've sat and like bought the albums, the CDs. And there was AC/DC one time. They put out an album, and I swore every daggum song in there was the same.
Oh yeah,
Just
sure.
different lyrics, a little bit different arrangement, but it was like, why did they do that? That just drove me nuts.
Yeah, I know. It's very interesting. I don't know why they do it either. It's like I guess they're just, they come up with one sound and then they're like, oh, that's why I like artists that kind of just are currently like always reinventing themselves,
Right.
reinventing sounds and experimenting with different sounds, or collaborating with other artists, that kind of thing. That's always pretty cool.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I like going and listening to the writers rounds and stuff.
Yeah. So now, do you ever get to come to Nashville and listen to any of the rounds and stuff here?
Yeah,
Because
I
you live about
came.
an hour away, right? You said.
It's right at an hour, yeah. But
Okay.
I think the last writer round I went to was the listening room, and it was Taylor Hughes, Delaney Ann, and Mr. Love.
Oh, Justin Love. Yeah.
Yeah, I just call him Mr. Love.
Mr. Love. Mr. Love. I love Justin. He's a sweet guy. Yeah,
Justin is
Taylor's
really
one of my
lovely.
good friends. I love Taylor. She's awesome. I've met Delaney once. Super, super sweet girl.
Mhm.
She's so sweet. I was playing a show at the listening room one time, and this was before she moved to town. And I believe she was visiting, and I actually hooked her and Taylor and a bunch of my friends up with my vocal coach, who they all work with now.
Yeah,
And she had sent me a message and was like, "I want to live and breathe." She named a song of mine that I played there at the Song Suffragist, and she was like, "I want to live and breathe that song, and is it out yet?" And she was just so sweet. So I love them. That's awesome.
yeah. I had her. I had Delaney on the show, and of course,
Awesome.
me and Taylor's good buds. We text and call each other all the daggone time, but
Love that.
she's been on the show twice. Oh, and here's a good plug. We're actually May 20th. We're doing a pajama party up here.
Oh, cool. Fun. Is that Memorial? I can't think of that's next Monday actually.
Yeah, next Monday. We're doing we're gonna hang out on the couch. We're gonna have a few beverages and we're gonna have some food and we're going to do a pajama kind of writers round on the couch on the podcast.
Oh, fun. That'll be awesome.
I think so.
Yeah, you guys will have a blast for sure. I don't drink anymore, but
And good for you.
yeah, I haven't drank in 9 months. I'm sober as it can be. So
Look,
yeah.
I drank like a fish when I was younger.
Yeah, sure.
And I will like have a drink every now and then,
Gotcha.
but I don't have the taste for it like I used to.
Yeah, I won't ever drink again. I mean, that's just, I'm in recovery for all that. So,
Yeah.
some people can cut it off and turn it off and turn it on. And unfortunately, I had to give it all the way up, and that's fine. That's just part of the music industry. Being in the music industry is tough. You just gotta know what you can handle and know what's best for you as the artist, and my life is way better off without it. But, it's part of my industry. Part of my job is to sell, is to promote and to sell liquor sales for the bar. So
Yep.
I just, I have my little soda with me and act like I'm partying along with everybody. And not that I'm acting, I make it clear that, I'm still having a good time because I am. I love what I do. So
Yeah, I've got some cousins up in Chicago, and every time I go up there, it's going to bars and stuff. And my cousin
Sure.
Jody, he plays bass and a lot of bands, and we go up there, and it's just like, man, them people in Chicago can drink.
Sure, yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of party animals for sure.
and you're like in the clubs and stuff, and they're like, he's introducing me and stuff, and they're like, you ain't got a drink. Let me go get you a drink. And I'm like, dude, Coke only, please. Thank you.
Sure. Yeah, I know a lot of people, a lot of people like to shove alcohol in your face, and that's just the norm in our business. There's
Oh, yeah.
no,
It really
it's just,
is.
it's more so I look at it now as it's just a polite thing. People are just trying to be polite. They don't understand. I mean, not everybody knows if you have a problem with something or if you previously had a problem with something. It's not their fault. They're just being polite, and it's just and that's all it is. But yeah, it is. It's like, whoa, you go places and people are like, it's like when you go to an Italian, like I'm Italian and Irish, you come to my family's house, it's like, eat more, eat more, eat more, It's like I already had 5 cannolis.
Wait a minute. You just said the magic word, cannolis. When are we going? I'm ready. I'll go with you. I'm good. I just want the cannoli. That's all I want.
Oh, I love Italian. I love it.
I do too. I mean, spaghetti, ziti, all kinds of stuff. I mean, I love Italian food.
Me too. Oh my gosh, it's the best. I'm a big pizza person. Like I've cut back on the amount I eat pizza, but that is definitely my favorite cheat meal is pasta and pizza.
Pizza is nothing but my comfort food.
Right? Absolutely. Me too.
It's like, you're working on stuff and you're trying to get certain things done and you don't have time to cook, but that delivery number is just right there.
Yeah, right? Exactly. You buy all this food and you're like,
and I can get this much more accomplished waiting on the pizza to get there.
Yeah. Yes, I know. It's so true. It's so true.
Now I got to go to the gym because I'm starting to look like a chunky monkey.
Oh no, you look fine. Oh gosh, it's so funny. No, I know. I try to go for walks and I go to Planet Fitness, keep it simple. Just go do my little workout and get in and get out.
Well, I mean, you've got to work on your cardio and everything else because, I mean, you put on a high energy show.
Yeah, I do a lot of I definitely do a lot of cardio. I mean, strength training obviously for women, especially. I mean, it's important for anybody, but it helps us, against osteoporosis and things like that as we get older. But
Right.
yeah, as singers and entertainers, doing a lot of cardio and running and like, hit training and high intensity, kind of workouts and things like that just keeps us, our lungs and all that to be able to withstand some of these long shows that we have to do sometimes.
Oh
And
yeah.
it's yeah, so part of working out and exercising is a big part of my routine and being an entertainer and being a performer. I
Yeah.
just kind of add it to it being part of my job, but also try to enjoy it too and not make it like, ugh, I gotta go work out.
Oh, yeah, the whole red part. Oh God, I hate that.
I'm like, oh no. So I'm just like, oh, I'll do this today, go for a hike, like change it up, get out into the sun and
Yeah, that's I'm well, I'm nervous about CMA Fest, but I know it's going to be because I'm doing the shows during the day, and that's from 10 o'clock till 5 o'clock.
oh wow, that's a long time.
And then at 7 o'clock, I'm still waiting on the itinerary to come through, but I've got two different clubs that I'm going to be at emceeing up until midnight.
Wow. Oh my
So
gosh.
it's going to be interesting. I'm going to be tired.
Yeah, that sounds like a lot of coffee or something that day, man.
I
That's
can't do coffee. I've never been a big coffee drinker.
me neither. I drink it every once in a while, but yeah, I'm kind of the same way.
I went through a phase where that movie What Women Want with Mel Gibson,
Yeah.
when he walked up and was ordering his coffee and stuff, and I was like, sounds pretty good. I'm gonna try that. So I went and I tried that, and I drank that for like every Saturday for like a month, and then I was
Oh
just
my
like, dude, no,
gosh.
I'm done. I can't drink no more of this stuff.
Yeah, it's I mean,
You,
I try to drink a lot of water, but I mean some people, caffeine it helps them with different things, but yeah, it makes me jittery if I have too much caffeine or coffee in general. Like I'm just like, I'm like,
I have
I don't
trouble
like the
focusing.
feeling.
It's like it winds me up too much, and I have trouble
Yeah,
focusing.
that's exactly how I am too. I get too wounded up, and then I'm like, whoa.
Yeah. So what was your favorite metal band when you was growing up?
I mean, I don't know if this would count as well, maybe it does. Like Slipknot, I liked.
Yeah.
I liked Slipknot. Now, I was more into a lot of like alternative rock, I guess. Like, like I grew up in the 90s, so like Incubus and like Linkin Park and
Mm-hmm.
um, Breaking Benjamin and just to name a few. I mean, but I also loved a lot of classic rock too. My
Yeah.
parents really, my parents always had like, Led Zeppelin on and Fleetwood Mac and, Rolling Stones and just all the great bands, the Doobie Brothers and, so I mean, so much music was surrounded around me and so
Yeah.
metal, I liked like Metallica and like Slipknot. I wasn't really into like the screamo type stuff. I mean, not to say there's got to be a talent in that to be able to.
Well, say I'm a big Evanescence fan.
Yes, so Evanescence was one of my favorite bands growing up.
Just the way she sings, that operatic type, just oh my God.
I
Amy Lee.
actually, growing up, I got compared to her a lot. Just like our tones, because she has such like
Mhm.
that real strong voice, and I've always loved
Oh yeah.
Evanescence. I used to sing a lot of her songs growing up, actually in our rock band that we did. And Seether and Amy Lee, yeah, it's Seether and Amy Lee. Like when they dated,
Mhm.
they. Um, so, how about you? What kind of rock did you like? Did you have a favorite metal band or?
Well, I was in that old school era, so it was Judas Priest,
Yeah.
Iron Maiden, Easy O, Loudness. Metallica when they first came out,
Sure.
Megadeth, just a bunch of really good metal. Anthrax, it was just Striper. Striper was a big one. Their guitar tone blowed me away.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't think I grew up with did you say Striper?
Mm-hmm.
No, I don't remember them. I mean,
They were a religious band, and at concerts they handed out Bibles to
oh,
everybody.
that's so nice. I love that.
And they were, but Michael Sweet's vocals and the guitar tone that they come out with was unlike anything that anybody had heard, and it was just, you'll have to listen to them. Just
Definitely. I definitely will. I love to. I mean, heck, I'm always going back in time and just even like looking up music that I still haven't heard to this day. And I just
oh
love
yeah,
going back in time and listening to new
yeah.
music because it's new to me. It's still new to me if I haven't heard it, which is cool.
Well, that's true. And then I had my daughter's 32, so it was Slipknot and Blink 182 and
Yeah, Blink 182,
all
Slipknot.
that
Yeah.
stuff.
Oh yeah. Loved all of
Who
that.
was it? Mayday Parade? Was it Mayday Parade? Who was that?
Mayday Parade. It's like alternative.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then Jack, what was his name? Jack something.
I don't know.
I can't remember.
There was Jack White, maybe, like
Yeah, Jack White.
White Stripes and all that.
Yeah, the White
Yeah.
Stripes and all them. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm the same age as your daughter, so
Yeah.
same kind of music for sure.
Mm-hmm.
The 90s babies.
Oh yeah.
90s, early 2000s, I guess you could say, because we were kind of at the 90s.
Yeah, but I was the cool dad. I had the Camaro with T-tops with a sub in the back, and
I love that.
it was wild.
That's so fun. I love that. It's so cool growing up with parents that are music lovers, because that's why I think I became a music lover. I mean, my parents, they've always been huge music buffs. Like my dad has a concert book, like just a book of all the concerts that he's ever been to. Like, I mean, he always jokes and says, well, the ones that I remembered to keep tickets for, because you're talking back in the 80s when I'm sure a lot of wild things were going on, but he has big book and it's got, you know what I mean? I always joke, my dad, I love my dad. We're super tight. I mean, me and my mom and my dad I'm very blessed to have had two parents that were big music lovers and got me into really good music growing up. So that's super cool that you got your daughter into a lot of good music too. It's very special.
I don't know why when you said that, a memory popped in my head. And you can ask anybody. I don't shut my I just tell what's on my mind. I got no filter. But anyway.
Me too. I'm the same way.
Judas Priest concert at the Nashville Memorial Auditorium. It was I'm not going to name names, but there was a bunch of me and my friends, and I borrowed my mother's Monte Carlo, a 74 Monte Carlo, and I drove. So we all go down there, and I didn't know that somebody had brought something with them, but we're in our seats, and the next thing I know, he's reaching in his pants, and then he's sitting over rolling and handed. So, I remember about half that concert, but anyway. So I drop everybody off after the concert's over with, right?
Do what? Sorry.
I dropped everybody off after the concert. I go home. I don't think nothing about nothing, right? I walk in the house trying to put my straight face on the best I can. Yeah, great show. Loved it. I'm going to bed. I got to do something in the morning or something. I forgot what I said, but I went to bed.
Sure.
Next morning at 9 a.m., my dad's rolling me out of the bed because somebody forgot to take his stash with him. It was in the back seat of my mom's car.
Oh no.
And it was a healthy size.
Oh gosh, this is so funny. Oh my God. That
And,
sounds so familiar to some stories that I've heard.
and at 1 o'clock, dude calls my house and he's like, "Hey man, I think I left something in the back of your car." And I said, "No, it went down the toilet," because my dad did not approve.
Oh my gosh, that is hilarious. That cracks me up.
Well,
It got
grounded
thrown
for a
down the
month.
toilet.
A month. I couldn't do nothing.
Oh my gosh, it's terrible. My dad told me a story actually, and he's told me this a couple times when we were talking about it today because, you know, growing up, it was so hard to get tickets to Led Zeppelin.
Yeah.
And he just it was just impossible back then because I mean they were just one of the hottest bands at that time. And, you
Oh, they
know,
sold out quick.
yeah, so quick. And they were expensive, at the time, like for but he said that his buddy, I guess, was able to like get two of them or something somehow.
Yeah.
And they were supposed to go. Well, he got in trouble with his friend got in trouble with his mom. Something he did something. Well, his
Yeah.
mom goes, "Well, I'll fix you." She burned the Led Zeppelin tickets and like
Oh
or
man.
threw them out to strip whatever happened, because he was either bad or he did something. I can't remember the extent of the story, but oh my gosh, my dad said his friend was like crying for days because he saved like probably all his money up and everything to get those tickets, and because he wronged his mom or whatever he did, she was
Yeah.
like, "Well, you gonna do this to me? I'm gonna take these Led Zeppelin tickets. I'm gonna get rid of these."
Yeah. Well, I mean, when
Oh, I would have been torn up. I would like just
oh
go
yeah,
back into a time portal to go see Led Zeppelin.
yeah. I never did get the opportunity to, but I've got a book like that. It's called Memories, and I've got concert tickets in there and everything else. I was actually looking at it a couple of days ago because my granddaughter's fascinated by all that stuff.
Yeah.
And I was showing her, and I was just like, dude, I went and seen Judas Priest for $12.50. I went and seen Van Halen for $14. I mean,
Oh, it's
and
sickening. I know. Like, and that's what he showed me. He pulled this book out and it was like all the, ticket prices on it, like all the, even like, when the Spectrum was still in Philadelphia, like all these old,
yeah,
places where people went and seen shows. And it's just unbelievable to see the ticket prices, like $9 and $10. And like, you can't even go to a concert for less than, 200 bucks or something these days,
I mean, around Nashville, if you went into a club and they had live bands, it
Sure.
was, the cover charge was like $5,
Yeah, very true.
and you can't find that no more.
It's hard, occasionally you'll still see free pop-up concerts and things, like, and CMA Fest is cool because, obviously, I mean, I know there's a lot of free shows that week, but also it's expensive to probably fly here, get hotels here, and, all that kind of stuff. The process of getting to one place to another, it's expensive,
Well, the
but I
parking
guess a
lot
lot of people
alone.
find that CMA Fest is like that one-stop shop where they can see all their favorite artists.
Yeah. But I mean, parking, I did during CRS week, I did 2 shows at the Underground.
Yeah.
I emceed both shows.
Oh,
And
wow, cool.
well, we had 2 separate showcases, and I emceed them. And then we go out to the car afterwards, and I'm like, dude, $55 for parking? Seriously?
Oh my gosh, that's crazy.
And that was for
Yeah,
both nights. That was
it
100.
it's terrible. It's terrible down there. I mean, there's been three different times where like I get parking passes for different shows that I play down there. So,
Mhm.
if I'm parked for however long amount of time, then my parking comes up to like $8 or $10 or whatever. But there was a few times where either something was entered wrong or the validation card like code didn't go through and
Right.
I was charged like freaking 40 to 50 bucks. I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm like, I didn't even probably make that much like at that particular gig or something, it's like
Yeah.
half my pay went to the parking.
Well, it was $110, and
Oh, it's brutal.
yeah, I just it was a sad.
Yeah, what I used to do a lot and what I still do sometimes is I park in Midtown and then I would either like Uber or whatever. But now even Uber and Lyft charges and things are like expensive. Especially during like CRS and CMA Fest and things, they gouge the prices.
Yeah, well, see, downtown used to be full of parking meters,
Yeah.
and at a certain time at night on a Friday night, they were free to park there all weekend. And now
Yeah.
they've done away with all that, and you got some kind of little QR code you got to scan.
I know it's I know. I totally get it. It's crazy. I
It's
try to
not,
avoid park. I try to avoid it.
yeah, I didn't. Uber is a nice thing, but you're still looking
Yeah.
at, $20-30 just Uber from, Nashville to downtown Nashville.
Sure, yeah, and I live out by the airport, so for me, I mean, I don't Uber really. I used to probably spend half my money on Uber and Lyft from, when I'd be partying and all that kind of stuff when
Yeah.
but now it's great to just have my own car and not have to be like, pay Ubering and stuff. I mean, because yeah, from like say downtown to even where I live, there's been times where I've spent like $50 to $60 in Ubers. I mean, it's crazy.
It's
So
nuts. I
it's
don't,
just not, yeah, it's too expensive.
yeah, it drives me nuts.
Yeah, me too.
It is crazy. So anyway, let's get back to you because you got to go here in a few minutes because you got
We
a
still
show.
have some more time. I think I'm looking at now. I think I don't have to actually leave till 5:30. Yeah. I had my times mixed up a little bit today. So
Oh, you're fine. One More Night, has that released yet?
it has, yeah, it's been out actually now for about two weeks. I just posted another video of it today. I've just been posting a bunch of content, surrounded around it. Um, and yeah, it's out, officially out.
That's cool because I've been wanting to hear it. I hadn't heard that one yet. I didn't
Yeah,
think.
you'll definitely have to go check it out. It's what happened when we first released it, it got the distribution company that so this was a feature project that I did. I had lent my time to a friend of mine back home. His name's Tony Luke Jr. He's aside from, a producer, songwriter, and singer and all that kind of stuff, he
Mhm.
started his whole business being in the business in the food, like in food. So he has a bunch of franchises called Tony Luke Steaks, and they're in like the Philadelphia Eagles stadiums and the Philly stadiums and the Flyers stadiums, and big cheesesteak company. They're called Tony Luke's. And so I come to find I got connected with him through a friend of mine who I for years did like public speaking events at, where I, anti-bullying events and mental health awareness type events. And she connected us, and he loved my voice and had asked if I could do my own version of a song that he had wrote. He had lost a son a couple years back, and lost his son sudden, and he wrote that song for his son.
Yeah.
And
Well,
so
I was reading on it, and I was just like, man, I really want to hear this when this comes out. So
absolutely, yeah, definitely go check it out for sure. It's out
I'm
on all
gonna,
the music platforms.
yay. Hey, Caitlin, cheer up, will you?
Can you even see me?
Yeah.
I can't see Caitlin. No, she tired too. Y'all are tired of it.
Yeah.
Drove back from Indiana. Yeah.
I was lucky. I had the guy next door to my mom and dad. He worked at the Anheuser-Busch. So 16 years old, I could get whatever I wanted.
That's awesome. Yeah. I think
I
that was
was,
how it was in my dad's, like in my mom or my dad told me that when they used to go to New Jersey, like to the Jersey Shore and stuff like that.
yeah.
I think it was 18, the drinking age was 18 in New
Yeah.
Jersey when he was a kid. So they spent a lot of time in Jersey, I'm sure.
Oh, yeah. We're leaving for the weekend. Bye.
Yeah. There you go. I think he said he told me a story how one time one of his buddies, they went for senior week and he just stayed the whole summer and just got a job. One of his buddies got like a job down there.
Yeah. Hey, as long as you got a place to crash, that's all you need.
Right? I know. It was so funny, man. It's great.
I was lucky because when they changed the drinking age in Tennessee, the date that it changed on was August 23rd. You had to be, if you was born before August 23rd and you were 19, you could still buy booze.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
after August 23rd, you had to be 21 years old.
Yeah. I believe I can't remember. I don't.
That was a long time ago.
Yeah, it's crazy.
We don't even drink and look at us. We're talking about booze. What the hell?
Yeah. I it's just
It's
funny,
crazy.
funny stuff.
Man, you're going to have to get your butt up here. I'll tell you that. Because I
I
know
definitely will for sure.
Yeah.
The summers and stuff are really busy for artists. It's so hard to
I know.
do anything. It's like I'm just running myself ragged, it's like just here, there, everywhere. And it's like, I'm trying to slow down and, prioritize things. And it's like, it's never seemed to be able to catch our breaths. We're always like Taylor and I talk about it all the time. It's like her and I barely get to see each other unless we like literally book a show together because artists and artist schedules are, I mean, we had like, I think we talked about trying to get dinner with all of us girls together. And I think we're all the way out to like June or July before we can even
Yeah.
do any of that. It's like summer comes and it's just like it's crazy, it's just
Yeah.
busy time of the year. So,
Well, I
but
mean,
I'd love to come up. Absolutely. I'd be honored to come up and sit and chat and get to meet y'all in person. And
oh yeah, it's crazy up here.
Yeah.
But yeah, we took and Taylor was here when I was actually I was producing and doing everything myself. And the show has grown so much now that I have to have Caitlin producing it for me. And Julie's handling the bookings and she takes care of all this other stuff for me.
Sure.
And I was sitting there the other day saying, no, it was today. I actually told Caitlin, I said, I almost want to hire somebody to freaking do some of the editing stuff because I do my own editing.
Yes, it's time consuming. A lot of, for like videos that I do, for instance, if I just do like a cover or something, I have to go to match stuff together. I do that all through CapCut also by myself. And I'm not like a professional video editor or anything. I have like videographers that I use for like the bigger things and stuff like that. But when I'm just like posting like, a video or something, like I'm just basically doing that all on my own.
Yeah. It was just, it's wild. But I told Caitlin you were coming up and she's like, I've run some shows for her before. So.
Oh, really?
Yeah. She's done your sound before.
Yeah, it's Scoreboard.
Oh, Caitlin. Wait a minute. Is that Caitlin?
Yeah.
It's me. Oh
my God, Caitlin. What the heck, girl? You didn't tell me that it was you. I thought I'm like talking to some random.
Nope, it's me.
Oh my gosh. I am cracking up. That is hilarious. I love you, Caitlin. She's the best. She's one of my favorite sound gals in town. You do a fantastic job.
Well,
thank you.
Absolutely. I always look forward to every time I see Caitlin, I'm like, oh, I'm in good hands.
oh, yeah. And it's just, well, I'll say this on air. I say it all the time, but I'm going to say it on air this time. I was such a control freak with trying to make sure the show goes right and everything goes good and everything sounds good and artists look the best and sound the best that I can make them and everything else. Caitlin is probably the only person that I even felt comfortable enough with to let her take the reign.
Sure. She knows her stuff. You know your stuff, girl.
You try.
Well, when you enjoy it and when you enjoy your job, it makes it more fun. And, there's some people that just get jobs and they're like, I'll figure it out, but they're not really interested in it, so they don't take the time to learn
Yeah.
the ins and the outs of things. So
Well, that's like
that's
with
so funny, Caitlin. I'm like literally over here like, wow. I'm airheaded, Caitlin.
I think we figured out eventually.
I think it's funny as
So
all get
funny.
out.
That's great.
See, now you'll know you'll be well taken care of when you get
I
up there.
know, right? I know. Oh my gosh, it's so funny. Well, hell, next time, Caitlin, do you live out that way, Caitlin, or are you?
No, I live in East Nashville.
Well, heck, next time I could just drive up there with you then.
Yeah, that's fine. We can do that.
That'd be great. We should definitely do that with carpool.
Oh yeah. Oh,
I
know
bet my car would make it. Such a freaking skittish, paranoid person. Like, I just had all this work done to it, so it's starting to run better, thankfully. So I think it's good. I just had to make sure I didn't have to have a new transmission because that was what I thought it was. And my car it was breaking down, so I needed all new coils and all kinds of, whatever the heck needs to be done to these cars. I don't know. It's an older car, but it's definitely running way better these days. So I think I'll be just fine.
So now we can start the Audra needs a new car fund.
Right.
Please donate to BR 549.
I love it. A little GoFundMe or something. No, I think I'm getting to the point where I'm saving a lot, so I'll be able to. I want to, the thing about it is I want to get like an SUV or something that I could put all my gear in and my merch stuff. And like right now I'm playing clown car, like trying to maneuver like Tetris in my trunk, moving things around and organizing. And it's like, oh, well, I got to take this out to fit this. And, but hey, a car is a car. I got a car. I'm lucky. I get to, some people don't. So I just stay in gratitude.
There you go. Yeah, I had a truck and I was, taking gear here and there and everywhere, doing some remotes and everything. And I got rid of the truck. It was too daggone big. I cannot stand turning into the grocery store and you have to back up 3 times just to get that thing to turn into a space.
I know, especially in Nashville. Oh my gosh. I can't stand what was it the other day? It was so funny. I think I was picking somebody up from the airport or I got lost and I ended up going through, I don't know, and somebody cut me off and started cussing at me and I was like, oh my gosh, I don't even know where I'm going, and it's just, and then parking in certain places, like I park way far away from people now. I just know better. I'm like, I'm not even going to deal with trying to squeeze into this spot or that spot. I'm just going to park far away.
That's all you got to do.
Avoid any kind of confrontation.
Mm-hmm. All right, girl. Well, we're going to have to get off here. You need to tell everybody where they can find you.
Absolutely. So I would say the best way to find me would just go to my website at audramclaughlin.com. That's pretty much where you can find Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Spotify. Like, there's so many social media platforms these days. So, or, a lot of times, like if they want, they can go to my Instagram and in my bio, on all my social media, there's a bio, it's my link tree, and that takes you to every single social media platform that I'm absolutely on. So
Awesome. I love it. I want to thank you for being on.
Oh, absolutely, David. Thank you so much. Thank you guys for having me. And I look forward to getting out there and meeting y'all in person. That'd be great.
We look forward to having you up here. So
yeah, let me know too when you're in town for CMA week, if I can hopefully carve out some time to come meet you or something, that'd be great.
I'll be around there somewhere, and the 2 places that I'm supposed to be emceeing at is either going to be at the Underground or the Doghouse.
Okay, perfect. Well, I guess I don't know.
That'll be
Caitlin or Julia can send me your phone number through email or whatever, and then.
Oh no! Caitlin's going to put you back in the green room.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to come back to you to give you some info and stuff.
Perfect. Awesome.
All right.
Just started raining out.
Yeah, it's supposed to be bad storms coming. So
I was like, oh, well.
All right, hon. Thank you so much for being on.
Thank you, David. I appreciate you so much.
Right.
God bless you, my friend.
Same to you. And you stay where you at. We'll be right back to you. All right. Everybody, please go check out Audra McLaughlin And go to the .com, check her out, check out all of her stuff, Spotify, everything else, buy some merch, like, share, follow, subscribe. Like it says, going right across. Wait a minute, I gotta go this way with it. There we go. Yeah, there we go. Okay. And we'll see you more later. Love you. Mean it. Bye.